Hey there, my name's Wesley. I live in one of the most expensive cities in the world. I have no job. And this is what I spend in a week. Good morning. This morning I had to rush up to sparring, so we already did that. That was just a little MTA fee to get there and back. I did eat a quick snack at home, some peanut butter toast. For lunch after, I just had some leftovers from dinner yesterday, but my friend paid for that meal, so we're not gonna count that. I actually don't spend that much time out on the weekends. I live in New York and stepping outside your apartment costs $100 minimum, but I do have a friend visiting in town, so I am being summoned to dinner in the city tonight. Okay, I'll be sleeping on the couch right now, so I have to whisper. But I'm gonna make a coffee and put it in a to-go cup so that I save money on getting a coffee. Now, before we get started, I should probably clarify that I do technically work full-time as a YouTuber and have a few other income streams that are keeping me, well, not exactly above water, but something more like this. So, sorry if this is considered clickbait, but what I spent in a week as an underemployed millennial who was laid off and is now voluntarily taking a step back from the corporate job search in order to pursue her lifelong dream of being a self-employed content creator, but still isn't making enough to comfortably sustain a modest lifestyle in New York, doesn't exactly roll off the tongue, but it's generally the same idea. It's so fluffy! Yeah, no, I know that dog. I went to the doctor and that man was there with that dog. I took a photo of it. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's the same exact dog. Now, just to set some ground rules before we really dive in here, I'll mostly be logging my daily expenses as we go and then adding in the real-time consumption of groceries. There will be a handful of times where I do go grocery shopping and I'll let you guys know how much that costs just for reference, but I'll only be adding in the amount that I actually consumed within the week during our final totals. Now back to the video. Emily and I didn't stay at the park for long. It was definitely a little too chaotic for our taste, so we decided to head back to her place to chill for a little bit. It was only a 30-minute walk, but I was getting blisters from my ankle socks, so we decided to take the subway instead. And then because I overstayed my welcome, I had to take an Uber to go to dinner, even though it was another 30-minute walk I could have taken for free. But sometimes we gotta pay the price for our poor planning. My friend Tiff was in town for her birthday, so a few of us met up for dinner at Mala Project. The food was delicious as always, and we split the bill. It came out to about $31. Happy birthday! The main celebration was going to be at Den's Social later that evening, and everyone had bought a table together, but it was unfortunately way out of budget given my current financial situation. So instead, I tried to get the most of what I could out of the experience by joining the pregame on our friend's rooftop and eating this delicious strawberry cake out of paper cups. And my recovery this morning is 9%, which is not great. Very necessary. So we're currently picking up our family friend's car to go to New Jersey today. We have an interview project we're doing for Combat Culture. The only problem is that the car is behind here. So I did bring a couple of eggs, an apple for some snacks while we're filming.
Hey, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey.
I didn't expect you guys so early. yeah, dude, I'm
Since Albie usually drives out to Pompton Lakes every Sunday for training, regardless of whether I'm filming with him, I didn't include the cost of gas here, since he would have paid for that anyway, but I did pay for the Uber from our apartment to our family friend's place just because I had a $15 credit. It still came out to a very steep $29 though. Okay, just finished the interview and we're gonna grab some lunch at our favorite place. I think we may have ordered too much. I used to come out with him every Sunday to do Muay Thai privates as well. I haven't really been able to do it as much this year just because of costs and time. But one thing we did really like to do after our workouts was come to this very random barbecue spot. The food is absolutely delicious and the prices actually aren't too bad, especially when you compare it to the city. We spent about $76 on lunch total, which sounds like a lot, but we didn't even finish half of our meal. So a lot of this is gonna go towards leftovers. Afterwards, we checked the Uber prices and they were outrageous, so we decided to schlep through suburban Brooklyn with all of our camera equipment and this giant bag of barbecue and take the subway instead. I bought us some boba as a little celebratory drink for a successful day of filming. I had a small snack once we got home and then leftovers for dinner. I usually do my weekly review and planning on Sundays, but since we were out all day, I had to do it this morning. I generally plan on going to cafes as my weekly treat when I do this. But this time I'm staying in because my face is puffy from crying last night. Don't worry, just the usual existential crisis. What else is new? But needless to say, I look dead inside and I'm avoiding society today. For lunch, I'm making this sundubu soup, and I like to serve it with an added egg on the side, as well as some rice and, of course, some kimchi. Okay. All right, for the rest of the day, I am just going to be here working on a client project I have. I'm helping someone build out their Notion workspace. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. That's about it. I had a snack while I was working, and Albie made us some linglings and soba noodles for dinner.
4 generations of chefs been diluted to this.
It's 1:30 and I'm so tired, but I finished what I needed to finish. All right, I'm looking at my calendar, and I think that'd be a pretty packed day today. I'm sorry this is kind of boring. All I do is just make coffee at home and eat groceries. But I have a client meeting in a couple of minutes. Probably just gonna be home working most of the day. All right, time to make some curry for lunch. I don't know why I said it like that. Okay, this might be kind of hard to properly calculate, so I think we might just do like a rough summary. I feel like this is a slightly aggressive amount of bell peppers, but no turning back now.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
Oh my god. I'm such an idiot. I don't know why I do this to myself. I put my Pocket 3, which is what I'm filming on right now, on top of this can of coconut milk. Why? I don't know. It literally fell off because it's on like this little tripod stand thing. Where is it? So I had it on this, and for whatever reason, I wanted to put it on top of this can of coconut milk, but it wasn't very stable, and I thought it would be fine because it wasn't moving. But out of nowhere, it literally just... Originally, the gimbal wasn't working and it was like shaking and freaking out. I got it to work again, but now it's bent and it won't close properly. I think I have the DJI Care refresh. I'm pretty sure I do. I hope I do. Oh my god. Let's see. I don't know if this is the actual cost or they just put a hold on it while they figure out how much it costs to repair. I'll have to look more into it. I'm just like, oh, I'm so disappointed in myself. I can't believe it. All right, let's go back to making lunch and not put this up on things that should not be tripods.
She gives me loving like I ain't ever had. She toss me to the curb like a dirty dish rag. Say, boys, it's a juice worth the squeeze.
What just came in the mail? Not mail, DoorDash. My friend N just sent me boba and mochi donuts, scallion pancake, and custard toast. Oh my god. It's so nice. I woke up an hour ago and I have been sitting on this very couch doing absolutely nothing except scrolling on my phone. I was gonna try and just jump into work, but I feel like I've been on this reactive cycle every morning and I'm skipping my morning routine. So even though it's late, I'm still gonna go for my morning walk. The weather's just too nice not to. And surprise, I'm making morning coffee. I'm gonna put it in one of these bad boys again and bring it to the park with me. I feel like a complete clown right now. Walked out to my house first. I heated up some leftovers for lunch, so no extra costs here. Rest of the day, I'm just gonna be scripting a video and then finishing up some client work. So another very boring day of not spending any money and staying inside. Oh, also, if you are wondering why the camera quality suddenly looks very different, it's because I'm filming on my A7C right now. I was using this for the rest of yesterday because it kind of worked. Now it's kind of permanently stuck on this recentering thing. Oh, look at that. Got a mind of its own now. Back to the big boy for now, at least for another 3 to 5 days until my new one comes in. Finally finished up most of my work for today. I'm gonna take a break and do some returns at Whole Foods, and maybe we'll get a snack if we see anything interesting there. This is why I only keep cookie dough around my house now, because if I have an actual cookie, I eat it for breakfast. Just finished outlining a video and it's time for lunch. I don't know if we have anything. I'm gonna be making birria for dinner later, but that's not ready right now. So let's play a game. I call this using whatever is in my fridge to make lunch. Here is my meager attempt at creating something that resembles a meal. Oh, it looks so gross right now, I'm sorry. Ta-da! I made an open-faced sandwich with a brioche bun, layered it with some cornbread, some barbecue chicken, pickled onions, and hot sauce. I got a pickle over here, some pretzels, and hummus. It's funny because sometimes you don't really think about your habits or your lifestyle that much until you start like recording and showing people. Sometimes when I don't plan vlogs and I'm just kind of going about my day, I feel embarrassed about how not put together I am for, you know, a 30-something-year-old that should be an adult. Here I am eating my cornbread on bread. Oh, not bad though. Look at what Chef Albie made us for dinner. Got some fried rice, some soup, and a Coca-Cola. I'm doing my hair before I go to bed because I actually have to wake up at 3:30 in the morning tomorrow. And I'm gonna tell you what it's for. You'll see. It's a surprise. That means I should probably go to bed now. It's only 8 p.m. All right, we're ready to go, and I will see you at the butt crack of dawn. All right, let's do this. A few weeks ago, B&H reached out asking if I wanted to come photograph the sunrise over the Empire State Building, and I said no. Kidding, obviously. As you can probably tell from this past week, I don't typically do much in the city nowadays. Part of it is being cost conscious because just breathing here is expensive. But to be honest, I've also been feeling a little down and frankly ashamed about not having a traditional corporate job. And sometimes, well, most of the time, I don't feel like I deserve to go out and have fun until I've made it, whatever that's supposed to mean. But going out of my way to wake up at 3 a.m. to see the sunrise over my favorite city on top of one of the most famous buildings in the world was nothing short of a pinch me moment. And it's moments like these that remind me of why so many people, including myself, choose to come here despite how high the price tag is. Afterwards, I took a well-deserved nap and woke up feeling almost hungover, so I treated Albie and I to a classic bodega bacon, egg, and cheese for lunch. Later that afternoon, I went to Mr. Mango for groceries, and guys, just look at these prices. I mean, come on, $1 for grapes and raspberries? I have no idea how they stay in business. This bag of grapes was $1. How do you even make profit off of that? Time to make dinner. It came in the mail, only 35 bucks.
Just looking at your camera setup. Neck strap on, your gorilla pod is all mangled, and see how you break your stuff. Walking accident waiting to happen.
Now it's the moment you have all been waiting for. How much did I actually spend over the course of the week? On Saturday, we had $64.81 of total expenses. Sunday was $113.42. Monday was pretty good, $9.47. Tuesday, we upped it to $40.65. Back down on Wednesday to $12.95. On Thursday, we had $14.54. And we ended the week on Friday with a grand total of $26.29 in spending. So, ladies, gentlemen, and variations thereupon, that brings us to a grand total of $282.13. That is actually shockingly low compared to what I thought it would be back when I started filming this, but we're not done. While day-to-day expenses like buying a coffee out or groceries are clearly a little bit more expensive here in New York, it's no secret that the thing that squeezes people the most is rent. So of course I'm going to be adding in my ongoing living expenses to paint a more accurate picture. And just for some context, I do split a lot of my bills and subscriptions amongst both my partner, Albie, and my family. But to keep things simple, I'm just going to include what I pay for out of pocket myself. It's also worth mentioning that I still do invest a good part of my monthly income into my Roth IRA, which I max out every month, and then also dollar cost averaging and crypto. So I haven't stopped that since my income became less stable. But again, that's something that I'm just not going to include in the overall costs here. So of course my biggest monthly expense is rent, and I split this with Albie, although I do pay a slightly higher share of it. My portion comes out to $2,800 every month. You have nothing else to say. As far as bills go, I don't really have too many. Albie pays gas and electric and Wi-Fi, which usually comes out to about $200 total. The only real technical bill I pay is our renter's insurance, which is about $24. So for business subscriptions, which includes things like web hosting, email hosting, that comes out to about $53 a month. I pay for Disney Plus and Hulu, but that's part of the Amex benefit, so I technically don't pay out of pocket every month. I get reimbursed. I'm not going to include that. I do pay for Google and Apple storage and ChatGPT. So all in all, I pay about $56.95 each month. And then for my phone bill, it is a whopping $20.67. Yes, that is for unlimited text, data, and calling, which I know is pretty wild. I'm also on a single line. It's only because I got grandfathered into this summer promotion like 10 years ago, and I'll probably keep it until the day I die. Or at least the day that we're all forced off the planet to go live on Mars under the rule of Elon Musk. But until then, I'm keeping it. I also pay about $85 in prescription medication every month. It's a little bit on the higher side just because I have to pay for the brand name due to medication shortages. And then the final monthly cost, which is not quite as high as rent, but very close, is health insurance, which, if you didn't know, is very expensive when you are not gainfully employed by a corporation. After I got laid off in December, I opted into Cobra, and I pay for both Albie and I, which comes out to $1,555.95 every month. I now understand why big companies use benefits as a way to hold unhappy workers hostage. So if we add up all of my ongoing monthly costs, it comes out to $4,595.61, which brings up my weekly spending to $1,343.47. I mean, that is actually insane. I literally spend over $1,000 a week just to exist here. Like, not even eating or anything. This is just how much it costs for me to sit on the floor of my apartment and stare at the wall. Damn, no wonder I'm broke. Also, to be fair, this doesn't include other expenses that I didn't pay for this week, like makeup, clothes, travel, gifts, toilet paper, but I also didn't buy any of those things in the last 2 months, well, except for the toilet paper. I think the moral of the story is that living in New York City in 2024 is very expensive, although you probably already knew that, so I'm not really sure what the point of this video was.